Hey guys, introspection here, and I'm back with another video. Today I want to discuss a new concept. Mental accounting. Ting, 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 ting. Alright, I'm sorry, I still haven't figured out the voice effects. But the point is, I wanted to discuss mental accounting. And if you think that sounds boring, you're probably right, to be quite honest with you. But it's still very important for us to be familiar with it, so I'm going to talk about it anyways. So imagine that you were off to the store to purchase a product, perhaps of the wheat variety. You were going to go ahead and get some bread. So you go ahead, you have $5 in your pocket, and you make your way to the store. On your way to the store, you realize that you have lost $5. So then what would you do? Would you go ahead and still purchase bread even though you have lost $5? Well, according to the research I have, which of course will be down below as always, most people have a tendency to answer, well, yeah, I would still get the bread. Now, imagine another scenario. In this scenario, you actually manage to hold on to your $5, go ahead, purchase the bread, and you're leaving the store. As you're leaving the store, you see a flying pack of crazed eagles soaring through the sky. Even though they really don't soar over parking lots very often, but for some reason there's a pack of them over you, and they all plummet toward you, attack you, attempt to take your bread, and then they take it and then fly away. If you are a normal person, you are probably traumatized. But assuming that didn't happen, would you go ahead and purchase more bread? Statistically speaking, most people would end up saying no. And that's rather curious. Why would it matter if they went ahead and lost $5 before or after they got their bread? Well, the reason being is because they prioritized the bread to be of more value. Even though, regardless as to whether you had the $5 before you had the bread, or the $5 after you had the bread, you still lose $5 one way or the other. Intrinsically, it's the same thing. Or maybe you're just sane and you didn't want to risk another random eagle attack, in which case, you're probably the smart one. But, disregarding the whole eagle attack, you get my point here. We have a tendency, generally speaking, obviously this doesn't work with everybody. This is a very general psychological analysis. But generally speaking, we have a tendency to prioritize things that we purchase or things that we have accounted mentally more so than monetary value. And this can kind of work against us in more or less two ways. First, we end up sort of missing out on certain things. So because we, in this scenario perhaps, because we ended up spending the money already, even though we are capable of spending another $5 without major financial repercussion, and on top of that we were willing to spend the $5, we still don't enjoy the bread that we would have in the other scenario. And because of this, we end up suffering for it. Essentially, it kind of becomes either, well, spend $5 and get nothing, or spend $10 and get a bread to enjoy. And we end up missing out on a lot of things. And then the other thing is because we prioritize the money to be more valuable or less valuable sometimes, we end up spending more, of course, than we should. Luckily, this can also work somewhat for us if we know how to use the system. If we prioritize money in our mental accounting and perhaps prioritize one set of money for, I don't know, perhaps you wish to devote it to purchasing for cookie supply. And because of this, you don't prioritize your cookie supply money over your other money. So when you go ahead and lose money in any other area, such as perhaps purchasing things for sustainability, bills, so on and so forth, you can take the money from the cookie purchasing money, and in this case, you are able to use the money without financially hurting yourself, and on top of that, you won't necessarily feel bad of spending money because you know that you're only taking it from a cookie account, and the worst that's going to happen is that you won't get cookies, though I know that sounds extremely detrimental. You get my point here. And yes, I do know how cringy my analogy was, but it's the best I got, so bear with me here. But the point being that we more or less need to be aware of this thought process that our brains kind of instinctually do, just to make sure that it doesn't take over things or it doesn't hurt us in the way that I just described. Well guys, that's it for this video. I just wanted to give you some information. As you know, this video was made a little bit differently than usual. I'm trying a few new things out. Hopefully I'll be able to figure something out that really works. If you have any suggestions, leave it down in the comment section below. Otherwise, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell button to catch me in the next 2 weeks. Don't forget to hit my thumbs up as well. And until then, hear nothing and listen to all. Bye guys!